Okay.
Hey, everybody, this is Juanita Waterman from Maine, and I am getting to have the best time of my life today. I get to interview my favorite celebrity judge, the trusted Trump go-to man who gets things done, the real estate lawyer, the teacher who has taught negotiation and real estate transactions, the one and only fabulous George H. Ross.
Wow, what an introduction.
You deserve it.
Great. That's right. That's better than anybody else can really do, but it's good. What can I do for you?
I am here because I want to interview you about being, I'm starting my life again. I'm 60 years old, starting my life. And I want to know how a guy like you who came from, New York and made it big, and how you would advise others to do the same.
Oh, that's good. Well, let's see. That's quite a few questions you put into one question. And this is good. How I did it. First of all, I had faith in my own ability that I could work something out and I could make it happen. But that's because I was young. All right. And I did make it happen. It went on. Now I figured out, okay, you reach a certain stage, you have money or whatever, you get family, you raise your family. What's important in your life that you wanted? To me, what was important was having the financial ability to do what I thought that I wanted to do was important, but having a family relationship, which was to me more important, and a relationship with the community, that I was somebody that not only looked for myself, but would try to want to be helpful to people that needed the help. Now that was me. Then when you say that this year starting to go over 60 years, big, I understand. I basically was planning on retiring at this because I had as much money as I basically needed, and I was bored. And that's when I was talking to Donald, as I have on many occasions, and he said, "You don't want to retire. You want to work with me. I need an advisor. I need somebody to advise me. I'd like you to do it." And we worked out all the relationships. Lasted for 16 years.
That's fabulous.
I told him when he asked me something, I didn't tell him what he wanted to hear. I told him what I thought. If he liked it, fine. If he didn't, that's whatever it was. And it was a wonderful working relationship. And that's what I did. Now, was that my second career? Yes. No, my first career was a lawyer and a writer and businessman. My next career was helping people to get a better life and be content with what they're doing, or how to figure out how they can be content in going on from the age 60 to where it is. Understand this very simple fact. I have been where you are. You have not been where I am. Okay, so I did. Now I'm very satisfied with what I've done up until now. And now I'm very satisfied that I get an opportunity to talk to people like you who want the benefit of hearing what I have to say. Whether they use it or not is up to them, but at least they want the opportunity to hear what I have to say.
Well, I have a question then. Right now, I know this might seem, what's your favorite book right now? What are you reading? Are you reading?
No.
Are you watching any favorite shows?
Yes.
What's your favorite show?
My favorite show is Jeopardy.
Really? And how do you like the new Jeopardy people?
Well, I like the Jeopardy people. I like it because it gives me an opportunity to see if I can answer the question first. All right, so do I have the knowledge? So I did it, but I'm not a big television series fan. I watch, of course, a lot of the news broadcasts. I watch Fox News. I watch MSNBC. I watch CNN, and I like to see what's going on in the world that's of interest.
What about when you were younger? Did you read a lot, or?
Yes.
So what would you say, what was the most influential book you ever read?
I don't know I can't say that it was an incidental book that was influential to me in what it is that I did, but I did read books. There was a book by Norman Vincent Peale called How to Influence Friends and Win People. And I did that at that point because I said that's a good basis for, if he did it, and was at that point a religious man, that's important in my business relationships. How do you make friends and influence people? And that, yeah, a lot of what he said was interesting, but you got to do it. You got to have your own style. You can't do what somebody else tells you to do or how they do it. You have to figure out how to make it work for you.
True. How about this? Your rapport. You say you in some of your books, I've been reading them about rapport, and JT talks about rapport. How do you build rapport with someone like you or JT? How does someone like me do that?
Just so you can do it. You're doing it now. You're doing it now. In other words, you're getting the benefit of my experience and wherever you want it and whatever questions you want to ask. So you build a rapport. Now you can, and certainly you can use that to your advantage because you're saying, hey, I'm dealing with somebody that's been around a long time and has had many different situations, owned businesses, had all kinds of relationships with on a business relationship, on a friendly basis and a religious basis, and you get the benefit of my experience, and that's information. That's your reading, but you're reading me. It's not a book.
Gotcha. How about this? You have charities that you give to. What one
Yes.
is your favorite charity?
My favorite charity is my favorite charity is any charity which deals with sick kids or children that have serious problems. I didn't have it in my lifetime. My family, fortunately, we didn't have it. But to me, there is nothing more traumatic than having a sick child, and a parent has to go on with that. It depends on the illness. It depends on what. But I say to me, that's terrible. If I can make their life easier, why not? And if I can do it with money, and I can do it with my time and effort, why not?
Right.
That's my favorite charities.
Well, out of all of those, some charities are out there are not really charities.
Good. Good.
How
I'll
do
give
you
you an
pick
example.
it?
I do a lot of deals with St. Jude's.
St. Jude's.
St.
And
Jude's.
how did you pick St. Jude's? Did somebody bring it to you at a party?
Yes.
Or a friend call you?
Yes. Somebody. Interestingly enough, somebody at this point, I was at an affair in Florida, and somebody we got to talking, and at that point they said, "Do you involve with charity?" I said, "Yes, I'm always looking. I'm charitable and donation." And they said, "Well, how about St. Jude's?" I said, "I don't know anything about St. Jude's." So they told me what it was and look into it. And before you know it, yes, I was involved. I funded a few rooms, and then I became a major contributor to St. Jude's. And from St. Jude's, when I saw what they did or what they do, and I said, well, yeah, there are other charities that do it also. Let me look at the other charities. And I did. From St. Jude's, I went to children's hospitals and anyone that had basically dealt with I considered the children.
Right.
And adolescents. It's not, I mean, they weren't young children.
Right.
Some of them were newborns. I was interested. I funded a few NICU units, intensive care units. And as long as it had to do with the health of children and the welfare of their parents, then I was interested in it.
Yeah. So that probably, I mean, I don't know how, if you rate that on a scale of 1 to 10 on feel goods, what would you rate your ability to be able to give to these charities at?
10.
10. Yeah.
How about 12?
How about 12?
Yeah. In other words, if you have, and which I who do have, if you have the wherewithal to fund these charities and to be part of them, funding it is easy. It's easy to write out a check. All right. Being part of the charity is not easy. Because it takes your time and effort. And if you have something to offer, why not use it? So, but it is, do you see it worthwhile? I mean, we started, there was a very much involved with a camp called Sunrise Day Camp, which is a day camp for children with cancer and their siblings. And got involved with it over 10 and a half years ago. And when I go out to that camp once a year and I see these kids, they're totally normal. They're out there. They're going to be the next day. They're going to be in therapy, and they may be in chemo. And you see them dealing with other kids with their siblings, and they're just normal kids. And they're happy. So if you could take a tragic situation and give them some degree of happiness, why not?
Why not?
It's extremely worthwhile and something that I'm prone to. But who cannot? How can you be so hard-hearted?
I don't know. Is that the one in Connecticut?
Yeah.
I heard about that one. That is awesome. I want to do one in Maine, but that's the secondary thing I want to do. The first thing is I got to get branded so I can do that and
There you go.
get people to get to know me. And
Yeah. Important.
yeah,
Important, but you have a lot to give at this point, and giving your advice and your enthusiasm is worthwhile if it's not necessarily the money.
woo.
You'll find no, it's because it's easy if you have the money to write out a check and say, gee, I'm charitable, I wrote out a check. That's nonsense. If you gave an hour of your time once a month or once a week or once a whatever, that's doing something. That now you're making, because you're giving something nobody else can give. Nobody else can give your time.
No.
No.
And that's, I think I hear your heart in this, and I feel like you're all in on that, and you're
I am all in on it.
that.
No,
And
I'm all in on it and say, why not? I feel that if you are successful or you've achieved a certain station in your life where you've got money and you've got extra time and you got expertise, why not give it back? Why not make it available to somebody that doesn't have that? Whether they use it or not is their problem. What is yours? But why not make it available?
yeah. So my next question is a little more personal. You don't have to answer it. How long have you been married?
How long have I been married?
Yeah.
I got married in 1952,
On the 16th of,
February.
aha, I knew it.
I knew it
Valentine's.
too. 1952. So in 1952, what are we figuring? How many years? 79?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, how about that?
Congratulations. I just
Right.
want to tell you that is just so admirable of your wife, I'm sure.
She's a wonderful person. If she could
And
put up with
you-
me. She could put up with me for 79 years. She should get the medal.
Yeah, exactly. And but I don't know you that well, but I just know women put up with a lot.
Yeah.
Now,
So do men.
so
But
do
that's
men.
the key.
So
That's
do
the
men.
key to a good relationship.
What about this?
Relationship is give and take.
You told Trump, I'll work with you. And tell me if this is true. I read it in an interview. I'll work with you if I only have to work 4 days a week because I want
correct.
time with my family.
That's correct.
That's amazing. Who does that, George?
Anybody that doesn't need the money.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's fabulous. I mean,
Anybody doesn't need the money. And understand at that time I was retiring. I was retired. He didn't want me to retire. So I said, okay, if you want the benefit of my expertise, I will dictate the terms under which I am available. And if you like them, we'll work together. If you don't like them, I'm out of here. Now, when you don't need a job or you don't need a position, you can make any rules you want.
the thing is you valued it too. I mean,
yes,
that was
I
valuable.
I valued it because when I was young, I didn't spend enough time with my family. It was all work and not enough time with my wife. And I think now that I've reached a certain point, I don't have to do that anymore. So I can spend time with my wife, my family, and sports, or do what I want to do. So I'll only work 4 days a week.
So George,
with my law firm, but I liked it. So that's what I did.
I also read you like to golf. Are you going to come to Maine and golf here with us at the Samoset? And
No, I don't. My golf is basically that's a tragic part of my life. I was never good at it.
aha.
I was a good athlete, but golf, I was okay, but not terrible. So now I don't play anymore golf. I found other things to do.
Oh, what? What? What's the other thing?
What I'm doing right now.
It's awesome,
Coaching.
right? Coaching. I love it.
Coaching, yeah. Found coaching is other things to do. And effectively getting involved in other people's lives to help them get the benefit or at least the exposure to my experience.
Okay.
So I know there's no purpose in my coaching somebody who's 90 years old. If they haven't figured it out by 90 years old, they never figure it out. But you get somebody who's 60 that's looking to change their life, yeah, that interests me.
Cool. Because I am 60 and I don't want to
I know
be.
you're 60, you told me. And I just
I
want you, when I raised that, I wanted you to know that, yeah, I was listening to what you said.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am raising some foster kids right now,
Great.
and I have
How
three
old
little
are they?
girls, 7, 5, and 3.
Oh, boys or girls?
All girls.
Why?
They needed a place to go. Their parents were
No,
addicts.
no. You didn't answer the question. You dodged the question. I said, why all girls?
Oh, why all girls? They're
Yeah.
sisters. They're sisters. God made them girls.
Okay,
I
well,
don't
why
know.
no boys?
Well, I already have 3. I did have a boy. He went and
Oh,
stayed with he
great.
went to his
Okay, yeah,
grandmother.
answer the question. That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Now, understand, the questions I just asked, were they important to me? Yes. Because it gave me an insight on your lifestyle or what you do, what you found important, which is great. But this also gave you an insight into me that I would ask those questions. I'm interested in your background, your personality, and it's great. Yeah, you have foster children. Yes, boys and girls at this, great. So that side of your life at least is taking up a extensive period of time, and you're willing to spend it, or at least you're trying to balance it. And in addition to that, you're looking to make money or do something where you can be compensated to live your lifestyle. Am I right?
Exactly. And I want to be able to support them in a manner that they should be supported in.
No.
No.
There's no that they should be supported. That's a question. When you say should be supported, that's subjective in your mind.
Right.
All right. You do the best you can.
Right.
And then switch. And one of the answers, which they should be, if you had available to teach the children, you had enough money to give them $100,000 a year. Should you do that? That's a decision you have to make. No. Do they need it? What do I do? In other words, don't take away their ability to have the thrill of performance, that they did something themselves and it worked.
Right.
Don't make it so easy that they just go through life and they don't do anything. And later on, when they get to be older, they'll figure out, what did I do with my life? I didn't do anything.
Right.
I don't have anything to look back on. That's wrong, in my estimation.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. So it's that you want to support them in a manner that's commensurate with what you can do and the what you want to accomplish with them. Absolutely. You want to give them the benefits of it. Yes. Whether it's religion, you want to make them religious, fine. You don't want to make it religious, okay. What's important to them and important to you, which is what you're doing, effectively being a parent. You want what's best for your children, but you don't know exactly what it is.
Exactly.
And you never will.
Never, never will. Oh, that's
only as happy as your unhappiest child.
That's right. And so I'm trying to be the rising tide, trying to set an example. So I thought one of the things I could do getting started was start a branding station, because as a new person in this industry, having to get branded, I would go to events, pay $5,000 before I had the kids, pay $5,000. And I came out with great heads, maybe some good head stuff and been around, positive people, but I didn't have a tangible product.
No.
Like I didn't have my photographs done. I didn't have any idea of what to wear or
okay. Well, that's it. All of that is important, but you got to just, when you say branded, what have you done that's going to want somebody to deal with you, to hire you or to work with you? What have you done? What's your background in business? What's your calling card? What are you branding? You're branding your personality. That's very nice. You got a great personality, but so what?
Yeah. So what?
No. I said lots of people have great personalities.
Yeah.
But somebody else can have no personality, and yet they're going to show me how to make a pot full of money. So I brand them on financial expertise, not on their personality. So you got a lot to give, and I think that you'll be very successful at it. You just have to figure out the best way to give it and what you're trying to establish.
That's it.
I think you could be a very worthwhile voice in any organization because you have the enthusiasm.
I have the heart too. I have the
I
heart.
understand. Well, that's part of it.
Enthusiasm, curiosity,
the heart,
interest.
Yeah.
And I want to help.
What you reminded me of at this point is an old saying where somebody said, "Give me a place to stand, and I will move the world."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me something to promote and I will
You
go
got it.
out
Yeah,
and
you
shout it
got it.
from
That's
the
great.
rooftops.
Do that. And that's the way to sell it. You know, you sell it based on, I will give me an opportunity to perform. And if I do perform, I want to be made, I want to be compensated based on my performance. Don't give me a big check up front and I don't have any performance.
Right. That makes sense. Now, how would you advise me to impress JT? If I wanted to impress JT and promote something for him or do something for him, how would you advise me to go about that?
Then take from him, find out from him, JT, what's the hardest item you can sell? What's the most difficult sales item? That's the one you want to take on.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
now, you may not be successful in it, but the fact that you're willing to undertake it is going to impress him.
Gotcha.
Okay, and you say, fine, and if I do it, whatever it is, at this point, fine, I'm going to get so many people that are going to pay X dollars to listen to you or come up to your exhibits or invest in your real estate companies. And if I do, I want to get well compensated and work out.
Ooh, I love that, George. I never thought of that. That was not even close to, that's fabulous.
I'm glad you like it, but that's the way to impress.
Oh,
That's understand now. No, you're going back now. How did JT first impress me?
yeah.
You know the story. You know what happened.
I heard what happened, but I'm not sure what impressed
No,
you. Oh, you did.
Found his way. He found a way to get into my office when he had never known me, right? And he was in front at this, and somehow convinced me that I should get to know him. Now, the only thing that impressed me was that he had the courage and the nerve to get it done. Okay, so I said, I keep my eye on him because he's got the courage. And that's exactly how it started, and it's continued now for 10.5 years because he showed me something out of the ordinary. The ability to do something nobody else has done or convince people to do something he wants done or thinks should be done, even though he doesn't have the background to do it. That impressed me. And that's how I got to JT. Now,
Yeah.
why does JT deal with me as his coach? Because I tell him things he doesn't want to hear. But I tell him what I think, and he knows he can rely on it. Because I tell him what I think, not what he wants me to hear. Not what he wants to hear. The same thing. So if you now go in and you say, here, give me the hardest thing to do, and you'll figure out how to do it, and maybe it's not doable. But at least you give it a shot. And he appreciates hard work, and he appreciates somebody that puts in effort.
That's fabulous. So if I was going to come to, are you going to make a success this year?
I don't know. JT has talked about it. We haven't talked about if I am or not and what the terms are.
Right. I'm going to be there. I got the shot and I'll be wearing a mask.
I would definitely go. I would definitely go if I were you.
If I want to meet you.
I'll go if it's worth my time and effort.
I'm telling you something, JT speaks so highly of you. I've never heard anyone speak so highly and edify someone as much as JT edifies you.
Good. I understand that. Fine. The question is good. How much does the edification be to have me there?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, if you're there.
So now we're going and let's bring it down. We've spent now half hour, close to a half hour, and it was worthwhile enough for you to pay to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm going to say, good. Now carry it down to when you get to mega success. If it's worthwhile for me to do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it on a voluntary basis.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just carrying two different situations to a similar conclusion. In other words, if it's right, and I'll do it, or it should be done. And if you want somebody to do something for you, you have to be giving them something in return. Whatever it is, maybe money, may not, it may be expertise, maybe recognition, it could be anything. But there's always a quid pro quo.
Right.
Yeah.
And in order for me to get where I want to go, it's not going to be about just getting, it's always going to be about adding value.
Absolutely.
And so that's my job right now, is to find out, and you gave me an excellent way to add value to JT and add value to the marketplace. And I hopefully can, no, not hopefully, I will pursue that.
Well, if you didn't
That's
pursue
worth my
it,
while.
and whether it works out or not in the long run, it's not important. The learning experience is.
Right.
Dealing with JT is like handling a hot fireball. Okay.
Yeah.
You better get some strong gloves but that's great. That's what impressed me. In other words, yeah, he's got all the ideas and so forth, but he can't find the people that will enable him to complete what he has in mind. And he's not a detailed man. So he doesn't do the details. He thinks in broad strokes. He needs
Wow.
somebody to do details.
Yeah.
And in learning that, even if it's unsuccessful with a particular project, is a learning experience. And we can carry that to the next one, to the next situation with somebody else that is like a JT or somebody that you think is worthwhile, that you would spend the time building the organization and making money along the way and giving you the recognition or the feeling of doing something constructive.
When in my community, because I've been a housewife for the past 40 years, whatever it is, because I'm 60. Yeah. I'm wondering if I want to be branded here too in my community.
Why
Is
not?
there, yeah, how would I go about that? Would I?
They're not branded. What do they need? They need somebody with your expertise and your enthusiasm in whatever task you want to do. That's your calling card.
Whatever task I want to go to help
Whatever
charity.
task, no, whatever
That's not
task
gonna
they
make me
want
money.
you to do. Not every task that you want to do. So if somebody says, I have a grocery store, my sales are $1,000 a week, I want to make it $5,000 a week. Okay, go to work. Okay.
Promote.
Whatever it is, not what you want, what they want.
Gotcha.
They have a need to bring on. What's the need? I need somebody that gives me that I can don't have to spend all the time. I can not take vacations. All right, whatever it is, I need somebody that fills in for me. I need somebody to work hours late at night, whatever their need is. So if you went to somebody looking for a job, and you went to somebody and said, good, I will do whatever you need me to do. What do you need? There's your calling card. I want to hear the answer. Now, if they say, well, I need somebody to sweep the floors, not my style. I don't sweep floors. If you need somebody that gets orders for you or treats customers, yeah, that's me. So you now bring up your own job requirements while you're listening to what they're saying. So I need somebody that's inside that's going to take care of the cash. Okay, can you handle that? Yeah, fine. Say fine. I can do that. I'm good at mathematics. I can be trusted. You see what I'm saying? You're answering whatever it is that they're raising. But until you know what they're raising, you can't make an answer. If you can't answer a question if there's no question.
Well, George, if you got anything you need to promote, I'll do whatever you need done.
Nah, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't need to.
Pick me.
I'm fine, but I don't need any promotions anyway. And this to go through. I don't need it. And I do what I'm doing with you and what I do in connection for JT is because I hope that it will be of value, hope to be of potential value to people like you that are talking to me and you're paying money to hear me. Hopefully it's of value. Whether it is or not depends on you. But nevertheless, that's my good. If you can improve what your lifestyle is or what you're trying, you can achieve some semblance of what you're trying to achieve. That makes me happy because I'm the teacher. Teacher loves to see a pupil exceed because then it's not a waste of time of having spent the time talking to it. You can accomplish almost anything. You got the enthusiasm. You know, just go do it.
How do I pick what to do?
You don't pick what you do. What you do goes to pick you. What are you looking for? Money? Get a job that pays more money. You're looking for prestige? Get a job that's got prestige. Looking for a job that makes you feel good, but you don't care about the money, go down a charitable lane. In other words, you have to figure out what's important in your life, how important, and then go down, achieve some balance in what you want to get monetarily or what have you, and what you need for your family, for your children, for your community, for your equality, for your environment, for your religion or what have you, to balance your life. In other words, but it's hard to figure out the balance. Am I more interested in money, or am I more interested in raising my children? If I'm more interested in raising my children, then money becomes less important. It's not important, but I still have to have enough money to raise them the way I think they ought to be raised. So you have to achieve the balance, and it's not something that's in black and white. As you go along, you'll do the best you can, but as long as you know what's important, then you'll do that. That'll have your preimportance. To me, what's important is my family, my family. All right, that was me. More important. My lifestyle, less important. No,
That's amazing.
But that's me. All right. To me, at this point, if I could afford to buy a Rolls Royce and I never bought it, that was fine. Because I didn't want to be measured by having achieved a certain status by being able to buy a Rolls Royce. I don't want to impress anybody. I don't need their adulation. I'm satisfied with what I've done, and I can do. Many times I've had a client say, "You did a fantastic job." I says, "Thank you very much," but I know I didn't. So I was the critic, but I'm not going to say I didn't. So they're going to say, I say, "Yeah, thanks, thank you very much," but I know I could have done better. If I could have done better, why didn't I? Then the next time I will. So I'm always ready to see what did I do that was not up to what I should have done. How could I have done it better?
Did you have a coach or a mentor when you were
Wish I
building
did.
your business?
No, the only coach I ever had was my father, who died when I was 16. And he was a philosopher and somewhat of a coach, but not as such. But 16 was a young age. I mean, basically, he died very suddenly, had a heart attack. That was the end of it when I was 16, and changed my whole life.
Yes.
So I never had anybody after that. But the only other coach that I would ever have was my oldest brother, who promised me everything but never delivered. So he was a coach at that, because when I measured people in the world, if they looked like my brother, I would never do business with them. So he taught me how to spot a phony, which was a lifestyle, which was something that's worthwhile. And I tried it through constantly. So now in my growth in a professional basis along the way, I could spot a phony. Wonderful. I could spot, if you know who not to do business with, then you figure out who to do business with. And it's not words.
We got to wrap it up, guys.
Okay. So thank you. I am truly honored to have.
No, don't be honored at that point. Go out. You got lots to offer. Go out and get a good job, make a lot of money, and get yourself a lifestyle you're satisfied with.
Hey, I got to talk to a scholar and a gentleman. Thank you, George.
Okay.
See ya.
Take
I hope I
care.
see you again.
You will.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.